In my last video, I covered how to convert your recorded audio guitar tracks to sampler tracks to essentially MIDI information so you can manipulate them, either tighten them up, detune them. Something I forgot about is you can change the tempo of your track and you're not going to have to time stretch the wave from the waveform like you normally would. So that's also another advantage. After that, a couple people asked me if you can do this in Logic. And I think I mentioned in the video, one reason I was using Logic is because the sampler track feature was so cool. You could just right click anything and turn it into a sampler track and lay it out in the sampler with MIDI information, and you can just do whatever you want with it. So kind of glad to come back here and try out the Logic track after the sampler track and compare the experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record like a really basic guitar part and then see if I can mix it up a bit more and then see what it sounds like when we mess with the tempo as well. So I'm just going to track something nice and simple here. Okay, see what that sounds like. All right, so I think I'm going to take the second part of this loop here because I had a finger swipe here. Where was that? Right there. I mean, it sounds kind of cool. Yeah. But for our purposes, I want to get as clean notes as possible. I mean, if I was really going to go for this, I'd probably take some time and make sure every note was perfectly done. But for our purposes, we're just going to see if we can kind of rearrange this and make something interesting out of this rather boring riff. So what I'm going to do here is right click or control click. That's how I have it set up because I have right click set up to be an editing tool. So I'm going to convert this to a sampler track. It's already here in my last commands, or you can find it under convert. So I'm going to convert this to a sampler track. And I'm just going to use the default settings here. It's going to use the transients to split up the audio sample. We want it to go to Logic Sampler. Maybe we'll give this a name, sampler, so we can differentiate it. And then it tells you it's going to lay this out. This is nice with 33 zones or 33 notes. This is going to be chopped onto starting at C1. So let's make that. See what we got. Yeah. Love those dry ass guitars. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy over my settings from the real guitar track. And there you go, just like with this Cubase sampler track, it's pretty much a perfect rendition of me playing because it's all just been chopped out to fit exactly what I was doing. So from here, we could just keep this. We could try to quantize it. Interesting. So for the most part, that's tightening up my playing. Probably have to play with connecting the notes here. And maybe removing the scrapes on the end. Yeah, depending on how realistic you want that to sound, we could quantize it. But what I want to do here is I want to totally replay this. I'm going to delete all this. So this is mostly palm mutes with the odd note in it. Yeah. So we have the root. When I do the root, we have the sharp. We have a flat second here, and the 7. So we have those to play with, and then a whole bunch of palm mutes. So what I'm going to do here, I want to try to play something a little bit more chuggy. Let's see if we can do that. I'm just going to draw on these notes. I don't care if this sounds a little bit mechanical. It's going to be fun. Let's see here. Start with some palm mutes. So that sounds pretty good because that's what we were doing. Let's go radically different here. Let's switch this to 16th notes instead. Nice. So maybe let's do something like dooga dooga chad, dooga dooga chad. So where's our pure note? Let's try putting the long chord here. All right, that's down here. Oh, there's our next note. So I'm going to use that for our next full note. Nice. And where did I say? And our 7 or 2 notes below the root. It's up here on E2. Let's do that there. Actually, let's just loop this. So I think we have a thing now. We have a full riff. Yeah, that's great. Match up the drum beats. All right. So we have one totally different riff than what we had before. Okay, so let's record that same riff again. I'm going to go record that on this side. Okay, that's sloppy, but no problem. No problem. Let's just fix this right up here. So I'm going to convert to a sampler track. We got our old unexciting dry sound. Let's copy over our amp. So there you go. So now we're set up again. Okay, I'm gonna be lazy and just copy this down. This sounds pretty good though. There's our 7th there. Nice. Let's hear it with the other one. Nice. So there, now we got a metal part that's way beyond my capability of playing. Whether it sounds 100% realistic is up for debate, but I mean, I kind of like that. That super tight sound is very cool. Those top notes can maybe be worked on, but you know, it could tweak the sound here a bit. So great thing that we can do here, what we did in the last video. Let's detune these. Let's go turn this into a nice 7-string. So I'm going to pitch both these down by 5. Pitch that down -5. Let's check this out now. That's great. Okay, now let's add a bass guitar here. So I'll bring in Contact and Cherry Bass. Okay, let's record that real quick. Okay, so we got something cooked up here. Sounds pretty good. So the cool thing I forgot to demonstrate last time, the really cool thing you could do here is you can manipulate these riffs with whatever tempo you want. You can slow down the hell out of the song. You can speed it up. Let's. I did a tempo ramp here. Let's take a listen. So this is 120 BPM, what we start off with. Now we're going to take it all the way down. Now we're going to take it to like a thrash level. Yeah. And then smoothly back down to 120. So you could really go nuts with the tempo. I mean, it's really wild. So there's our original speed. I mean, that's not even originally what I was playing. But here's the original riff. Then I turned it into this. And you can play it, you can turn this into a nice slow dirge. So there's your break of the song. Or you could just be like all out thrash metal. Yeah, I almost want to make that more like a double ticka-chack, 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 ticka-chack. Yeah, I mean, that's magic. So you're not prey to any of the normal time stretching. I mean, all within reason. Depending on how you play, you're going to run into a situation where you don't have enough length on the note to cover it. And I need to look at the sampler, at Logic's sampler, a little bit more. It's changed. This used to be the EXS sampler for decades, and now they've changed it into this wonderful interface. But there is flex time here. I haven't been able to explore this yet, so maybe there's a way of extending your notes how you want, but I'd have to do a little research on that. But anyways, that's how to do rockin' metal guitars, rockin' sampled metal guitars in Logic. And as always, thanks for watching. Go check out my other videos, please. Like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram. I got lots of tips and tricks to come. Thanks for watching. Bye now.